Hello everyone. Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lisa. I am That Doll Collector. Thank you so much for choosing to watch my video today. This little girl right here with me, her name is Loretta. We'll get back to her in a little bit. First of all, I'd like to thank all my subscribers. I have a few people that keep coming back and regularly watch and comment, and I'm so grateful for all of you. And if you are new here and you like what you see and would like to see more of my content, I have a lot more dolls to share. I have a lot of dolls in my collection, dolls of all kinds. All dolls are welcome on my channel. If that's something that you enjoy, maybe consider hitting that subscribe button, coming back and checking out more of my content. And also hit the bell notification, and that'll let you know when I make another video. And please, everybody, don't forget that if you enjoyed today's video, to please give it a thumbs up. All right, well, Friday is Halloween. So in honor of this week leading up to Halloween, I thought that I would do a video and we would talk about a new doll that I adopted into my collection. It was specifically for Halloween this year. I had been wanting this doll for a long time and finally was able to find one and adopt it into my collection. So this doll right here, this doll is a kid sister doll. And for those of you that don't know what a kid sister doll, you may know what a My Buddy doll is. Well, this is the female version of the My Buddy doll. It's a doll that was popular in the 1980s. Well, then shortly after they made the My Buddy doll, rumor has it anyway, that they based a scary movie off of that doll, because the doll is dressed real similar to the My Buddy doll. And that movie, of course, is called Child's Play. And there has been many Child's Play movies made. The doll in that movie, of course, the evil doll, his name is Chucky. And pretty much everybody knows who Chucky is. So anyway, let me show you the doll that I adopted into my collection. You may have guessed what it is already. Okay, here he is. And now some of you are saying, oh, it's Chucky. Well, maybe, but not really. The doll in the movies, in the Chucky movies, they were actually called good guy dolls. And Chucky did not become Chucky until an evil man actually ended up possessing the doll. And so in the movie, each doll that was made, these dolls in the movie were supposed to be like an interactive doll. Like similar to, if you remember, like the Teddy Ruxpin teddy bears. It interacted with the child. It talked, its eyes moved, its mouth moved, and each doll came with its own name, and it would say its name. In the movie, it would say, "Hi, I'm Chucky. I'm your friend till the end." It would say little sayings like that, and it had battery compartment in its back. And but in this doll here, this doll is actually a custom-made doll. I have a good friend that I work with, and I've mentioned him before on my channel. His name is Rich, and I've been talking to Rich. Rich also collects good guy dolls, and he has other various collections. We have a lot in common. Hi, Rich. He watches my channel. Anyway, I was telling him that I was wanting one of these, and so he's been on the lookout for me to find one. Well, he found a person on eBay that custom makes these good guy dolls, And that's where this guy came from. Now, this doll looks very similar to the doll in the very first movie, I think. Because if you watch each movie, each doll is a little different. Now, the most recently made Child's Play movie that they made, that doll is more like an AI interactive doll. So he kind of evolved. But in the second movie, if you're familiar with that one, there's a good guy doll in that movie that doesn't come to life, but is named Tommy. And that is what I'm naming my doll. My doll is going to be named Tommy after that doll in that movie. And actually, Tommy ends up getting his face smashed by Chucky, so Chucky can take over his identity to get to the little kid, Andy, in the show. But anyway, so back to this doll. He's a really unique doll. He's a rather large doll. He's pretty big. His head turns, and his arms have armatures. And so you can pose him in different poses. The guy custom put on his hair, and he painted his face and everything. He sewed his clothes. His clothes are sewn, but somebody had a pattern and sewed his clothes. The back of his has little Velcro, so you can take his clothes off. His shoes are actually plastic, and he painted them. And the laces are good. They say good guy. They have good guy laces. It's got the bottoms on. Good guy on the bottoms of his shoes. He's a really cool doll. If you're into this kind of thing, now I know some people don't like dolls like this, but you know what? If you hadn't seen or didn't know about the Child's Play movies, when you look at this doll, would it really be scary? You know, I don't know. I don't believe in those kinds of things anyway. I just really like it. I like this doll, and I really always wanted him in my collection. And so anyway, so everybody meet Tommy. He's going to be the nanny / bodyguard, if you will, of my nursery. Growing up, I remember my older brother used to tease me about my dolls and say how creepy they were, and how wasn't I afraid in the night that they would come alive and try and kill me. And he would tell me these stupid stories, these really stupid stories about the dolls. And actually, I remember there was a scary movie that was made back then, and it was called Dolls, I remember. And in that movie, there were people that would come upon this house, and it had all these dolls, and the people were mean to the dolls. And if you were mean to the dolls would come alive and they would kill those people, and then they would be turned into dolls. And so whenever anybody would tell me that my dolls were creepy or anything like that, didn't want to stay in my bedrooms, I would say, well, I go, they're not creepy. And I said, and as long as you're nice, they won't kill you in the night. Because, I don't know, the things that people make up or the things that people talk about. But I must confess that, I've always enjoyed, for one, I've always enjoyed Halloween. I know there's a lot of controversy. Some people don't like it because they think it's associated with evil things. But I never thought about that. I never cared about that part. I just really thought it was fun because it was the one time a year that you could dress up and be anything else or anybody else, and it was perfectly okay. In my town, it's still kind of old-fashioned. I get a lot of trick-or-treaters every year, and it's so fun because the it's like a thing where the community gets all together and the parents walk with their kids up and down the streets, and they go from door to door, and they all have, they're all happy, and they're excited to get the candy and, knock on the doors. So this year for Halloween, I'm going to have Tommy, and hopefully I'm going to sit outside and pass out candy, and hopefully the kids won't be too scared. I'm pretty sure they'll know who he is, because I actually had a couple kids come to my door dressed like Chucky over the years. So I think at least the parents will know who he is. So I was hoping that they would get a kick out of that. And so a funny story about this doll. My boyfriend Joe was over shortly after I gotten Tommy, and well, back up. The night that I brought Tommy home after work. My friend Rich brought him to me at work, and I brought him home and sat him in the chair, and and Joe called me, and I told him. He's like, "Well, where is he?" So I showed him. I turned the phone towards him and showed him, and he's just like, "Oh," that's all he said. He says, "Oh." But no, he thinks he's pretty. He thinks he's cool, but he looks like a Chucky doll. He's a good guy doll. And then when he came over, I have this guy sitting kind of in my entryway with his arm up like he's waving, because he's got armatures. And I was in the kitchen, and I happened to look over at Tommy, and Tommy's hand was down like this, and his head was turned kind of this way. And I thought, well, some dolls, their armatures don't stay up. They fall down eventually. And so I just went back over to him, and I put his arm back up, and I turned his head back over, not thinking anything. It's like whatever. Well, then a little bit later again, he was slid over, and his legs were uncrossed. And I was like, so I go back, and I'm like, well, maybe I bumped him. And Joe comes over, and he's like, well, what are you doing to Tommy? I said, well, I must have bumped him or something, because he's not in the same spot that he was before. And he goes, are you sure? Maybe he's moving on his own. I'm like, come on. I go, I don't believe in that. There's no way. And then he starts laughing. He was trying to play a joke on me. He goes, God darn it, I was trying to scare you, and I couldn't even do it. But if you try to do anything with my dolls like that, it's not going to faze me, because I don't care what doll I have. It's even this one. It's not creepy. I don't pay no mind to that kind of stuff. It's whatever, So, I mean, it's whatever. So anyway, I thought I thought that was kind of a funny story. So anyway, so talking about movies and scary movies, I've always liked that kind of thing. And now when I go to watch a scary movie, an older scary movie, of course, they just seem kind of silly to me. I think it's because the special effects, back then they didn't have the advancements that they have nowadays. Nowadays, it's very realistic. It's actually hard for me to watch some of the newer scary movies, because they are so realistic. My mom used to enjoy watching a spooky movie or a suspenseful movie with me, and we would go to them in the theater sometimes. And I remember looking over at my mom when a scary part would come. And I would have to watch like this, I'm a chicken. And I look over at my mom, and she's just watching it. And I'm like, Mom, how can you watch it so scary? And she's like, it's just a movie. And I'm like, yeah, but but back then, that was the advancements in today make them seem so more realistic. So if you watch an older movie, even the first Child's Play, and the second one too, it's silly. You can tell that a lot of the parts are fake. So, it's not like watching a movie today. But so anyway, so another there's another movie that and some dolls that I'd like to share with you today that I have. So I'm gonna put Tommy down, and we're gonna talk about the movie Megan. Well, this doll here is a doll from my collection. I got her when I was in, I was probably 4 or 5 for Christmas. My grandparents gifted her to me, and because they thought that she looked like I did. She originally had brown hair, dark brown hair. It was in such bad shape that I put this wig on her, and of course I changed her clothes. But the reason why I have this doll, I named this doll Megan. I named her recently because she didn't have a name. I never did name this doll. But when I was a little girl, I had a really bad nightmare about this doll. I actually dreamt that this doll came to life, much like Chucky, and tried to kill me. And I was so scared that my dad actually ended up putting her way back in the back of my closet. And that's where she stayed for several years until I got over it, thought that's ridiculous, you know, she's just a doll, and took her back out again. But so anyway, so that's why I named this doll Megan. And my friend Rich, again, he also found some smaller Megan dolls for me for my collection, because he knows I like Megan also. Now, Megan is similar to Chucky, but in the sense that she's a more modern take on a doll. Not possessed, but she's an AI doll. For those of you that don't know who Megan is in the movie, and she's a Megan doll or an AI doll that gets too protective of the little girl that she's supposed to be protecting, and she ends up actually killing people that do things that she thinks that they shouldn't be doing to the little girl. So this is a doll that Rich found for me. I haven't taken her out of the box because the box is really cool. It's got this magnetic closure on the side. It's really neat. I'll show you the box. But inside, she's just a cloth doll. I'm gonna pause the video so I can turn you around here. Okay, so this is what she looks like. She's just got cloth legs, and the glue came loose on this box and she slid down, but she's got this little toy next to her, is from the movie also. It's kind of like a little Furby that the aunt of the little girl creates. Of course, the aunt also creates Megan. And yeah, I always keep it in this, didn't take it out of this box because the box is so cool. Closes, and then it has the magnetic side like that. It's kind of cool. Then Rich also found me, these were also at Walmart. It's a smaller Megan doll. And the side of the box actually is Velcro, and it opens up, and it's one of those little dolls where you can take the head, it's like magnetic. You can take the heads off and put the different heads from the movie. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get this, guys, but you can see my reflection in the plastic, but at least you get the idea. She's got different hands and different weapons. Some of you probably might have this. They have all different versions of these dolls. You know, you can get, I've seen like Michael Myers ones and Jason from Friday the 13th. There's all different kinds of ones you can get. And it just has a picture of her over here with her machete. Yeah, so I think the boxes are so cool on these that I don't ever, I mean, it would be cool to play with her, but I don't really want to take her out. And that's just what the box looks like. So yeah. Okay, so one thing I forgot to tell you too, that this Good Guy doll also came with like the guy made like a fake newspaper clipping that tells about the Chucky from the movie, and it's you know, Chucky is the man that possesses the doll, the Lakeshore Strangler. Charles Lee Ray was his name, and this is just kind of like a clipping about, you know, it says local boy claims doll's alive. Chucky's alive, really he is, and then it shows the store where you can buy them, and it's just kind of a neat little thing to have with the doll. I thought that was kind of cool that he did that. So yeah, so I don't know. You guys like scary movies? Did you like watching spooky or suspenseful movies when you were a kid, or even today? Some people like that stuff, and some people don't, and that's okay. But anyway, I just thought I wanted to share my good guy doll, Tommy, with you guys today. I hope you enjoyed seeing him. I know some of you collect these types of dolls, and probably liked seeing him today. So with that, I'm going to close out the video for now, and always remember that happiness is a choice that we make every day. We can't always choose how we feel about a situation, but we can always choose how we react. And me and little Tommy here care for you so much, and we thank you for watching, and thank you for making our day a very happy Dolly Day. Thank you for watching, everyone. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and we'll see you in the next one. Goodbye for now.